This second is or some movie good for you, but there's something so like so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's do this vaccine 3, 2, 1. I think so. I think some movies are good for you. I would think so. Yeah. So let's do this vaccine 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, it's the Something Show, and this is the first video of 2026, now with
2026
studio lighting. That's right everyone, 2026 is bringing an increase in quality. Alright, this looks like a better angle, except for these glasses, they're too reflecty, look at that. So, I'm just gonna be blind for this video, I think. You know, 2025 was a great year for this channel. I think we had about 1,000 new subscribers, which is crazy. I mean, in 2024, I had like, I don't know, maybe 500. 2025, to have 1,000 new subscribers, crazy. I'm sure that 2026 is gonna be even better, and that starts with you subscribing. just go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, that's well.
Come on, just subscribe. Please? Please?
Yeah, that's well. It's free to do. Yeah.
Please. All right, enough begging. The thing I wanted to talk about today was the fact that media, any sort of media, can have such an effect on us. A few days ago, I watched the movie Sinners. It came out around, I don't know, July of 2025, so relatively recently, and it was a huge movie. You know, it was very big. A ton of people saw it and loved it, but I never saw it in theaters because I just wasn't that interested in it. But recently, as all of us do, I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts. And while I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts, I started seeing clips from this movie. And I was like, wow, this looks pretty interesting. So I started watching more YouTube Shorts about it. And then I was like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here, 19 years old, scrolling on YouTube Shorts. First, I gotta get my life together. Second, I gotta watch the full movie. And so I did. Starting at 1 o'clock in the morning, I started watching the entire movie of Sinners. And I finished around 3 a.m. and my life was changed. There has been maybe one other movie that left me feeling the way that Sinners did. Now sure, maybe that means I need to get out more. Maybe that means I need to watch more movies. But I feel like I've seen my fair share of movies and there's only two that has done it. Number one, obviously, Sinners. Number two, Iron Claw, an A24 movie. And I think that mostly made me feel a certain way because of how utterly depressing it was. Great movie, terribly depressing. You should watch it. So needless to say, this is a rare experience for me. But it's an experience that I think we can all kind of relate to. I think it's so interesting that all different types of media can leave us damaged. You know, if we constantly see negative news out there of people being killed, bombings, global pandemics. If you're in a global pandemic and all you see is depressing stuff, that might have a little bit of a negative effect on you. I mean, even look at TikTok. TikTok and Instagram Reels, and for many of us, you know, many of us are united in this, YouTube Shorts. Scrolling on those types of short form contents have left our attention spans decimated. I mean, just as an example in my own life, I feel like I'm a relatively patient person. I give my attention well to things, but when I'm by myself and I don't know exactly what to do with myself, I will go on Instagram, scroll for however long, be like, oh my God, I gotta get off Instagram. I'll swipe off Instagram, put my phone away, take out my phone and go back on Instagram. Subconsciously. And you know what? Don't make me feel like I'm the only person that does that. That would be pretty embarrassing. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Media stuff like that has destroyed our attention spans. I mean, you see these eye bags? That's because I'm doom scrolling at 1, 2, 3 a.m. Yet at the same time, media and things like movies or books, you ever read a book? I haven't, but I've heard those things are great. Media like that, even TV shows, cartoons, YouTube videos, can have such profound impacts on how we feel. And why is that? I've got no clue. Why does a movie about vampires and twins,
we cousins,
leave me with such a deep feeling? And I mean, it feels kind of even cringy to talk about it like that, but it's just true. I randomly chose to watch this movie, which I knew maybe 1 or 2 people had watched. I chose to watch that movie at 1 a.m. I finished it at 3 a.m. And it left me feeling so impacted that I couldn't sleep that night. Not because I was scared of the vampires. All right, fine, I was a little scared of the vampires. But this 2-hour-long movie left me not able to sleep because of how excited I was that I had watched it. I mean, isn't that insane? Anyway, guys, this movie has been sponsored by Sinners. Obviously, I'm just kidding. This movie hasn't been sponsored by anything. I mean, if someone does want to sponsor me, go right ahead. But this might as well be an advertisement. I'm begging you to go watch that movie. Now, unfortunately, you probably won't have the same experience watching it that I did. And that's just how it is. We all have different experiences watching movies. Which leads me into my next point. There are two things I want to do with this movie. The first one is talk about this movie in its entirety. Talk about every single detail and everything that I find amazing. And there's a lot that I find amazing. The second thing is talk about how movies like this, and movies in general, impact you, the viewer, why you feel a certain way. But unfortunately, I just can't do that. It's not possible, because like I said, we all interact with media in different ways. Sure, there are similar patterns and emotions we experience when we consume media, but for something to really affect us in a deep way, on a deep emotional level, it varies so much from person to person. So I can't tell you why you would feel a certain way watching a movie, but I can tell you why I feel a certain way while watching a movie. When something makes me so excited or leaves me impacted so deeply that I can't sleep, I'm gonna wanna think about why I feel that way. And I thought deep about why it impacted me in such a deep way. So I really had to get to thinking. And after many tens of minutes of thinking, I determined that the reason a movie like Sinners had left me so deeply impacted was because of my personal desire to create. You know, I make a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of goofy, stupid YouTube videos. But hidden behind the blabbering and the jammering, is jammering a word? There is a deep, deep desire to leave someone with an impact through what I've created. Now I talk about this concept a lot on this YouTube channel, and I apologize if I'm beating the old dead bush. Is that, I actually don't know if that's an expression. Might not be, but, oh, beating a dead horse, that's what I meant. I have that deep desire to create, right? And I try, and I certainly fail, and I definitely am not perfect at creating, you know. This is not a perfect YouTube video because it's so rambly, but I'm trying my best, and I'm trying to get better every day at it. To see someone be able to make a movie and employ so many different actors that are trying to do a similar thing that I am, and have it be so successful, it means so much to me. And yeah, that's a little cringy, but I kind of don't care. I also have a very deep relationship with music, so the fact that it combines that concept with music and the importance of music, it just affects me to my core. And it's even more meaningful in the fact that it's a horror movie. I hate horror movies, typically. You know, there's the occasional horror movie that I enjoy, but overall, I'm just not a fan of horror movies. It just goes to show you that when something connects with you on a deep level like that, it doesn't matter if it's a horror movie. If you hate rom-coms, or as I call them, romedies, it is totally possible that there's a romedy out there that deeply, deeply connects with you. Same thing goes for musicals. My brother hates musicals. He hates them to their core. I hate to tell you, there's a musical out there that affects you deeply to your core. We are all deeply complex. Well, maybe some of us are a little dumb, but even if we're dumb, we're deeply, deeply complex people. We can never, ever fully be understood through words or numbers or data. So sometimes the best way to be understood and to feel understood is through art. Because art, when it's done right and it speaks to you specifically, will combine words with numbers, with data, with ratios, with everything to create the perfect storm that affects you deeply. And I mean, even I'm rolling my eyes a little bit after saying that, but it's true. It's just true. That's just my take on it though. You could think something very different than I do. Most recently for me, the movie Sinners has connected with me on a deep, deep level. I understand that it's just a movie, but it's really, really weird when you feel so affected by media. You know, I'm not gonna keep going in circles here. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'm gonna put my glasses back on so I'm not blind anymore. Please subscribe. Let's make 2026 an even better year for this channel. Please, if you haven't yet, go watch the movie Sinners. It's great. If you watched it and you loved it, leave a comment. Let me know what you loved about it. If you watched it and hated it, also leave a comment. I wanna see what you thought. Subscribe here, check out The Nothing Show, my main channel. Here, new video coming in the next few days. Oh my gosh, this guy's starting 2026 off super great.
Super great. Wow, that was awesome really good for you, but that's something so. The link to the video will be in the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like, and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. and subscribe if you're new, and click the post so you can be notified for me upload and me the post and go live. No matter, bye. Wow.